We're here today with the lovely Tosca Reno, and she is the author of The Diet Starts Here. And now this is not your first book, you've got lots of other books, but this one's a little different because you kind of go back to the beginning.
Yes.
Your other ones kind of jump into recipes and stuff like that, so explain this one to us.
So this one was, it came to me as an idea when I saw people coming to events, clutching their Eat Clean diet books and looking decidedly not like they were eating clean. And I thought, something's wrong in the translation. And when I thought about it and my own transformation 14 years ago, I began in a different place. I began by having a good look at myself first. And I think if you don't do that, you're not set up for success in the future. So the Start Here diet is the beginning, right here.
And you have some simple rules that I know many of us follow, including me. This sits on my fridge every day.
I can't believe this. I need this.
Somebody made this for me. So I look at your rules every day. Let's go quickly through some of your rules here.
Okay. So the Eat Clean Diet series of books, which is the one that comes after the Start Here diet, is a lifestyle way of eating that has several sort of backbone rules that you practice, which is eating 6 times a day, meaning that you're interspersing healthy meals with snacks about every 2.5 to 3 hours. You're drinking more water, so you're programming that also into your eating because people tend to be very dehydrated as a rule. You're eating no processed foods. You pack a cooler. Most of your meals are built on the backbone of lean protein and complex carbohydrates together. I'm looking at a lot of things on the table that speak to what eating clean is all about. Yeah.
And what about a little bit back to your journey? We have some before and after pictures
Aren't
that
they
will
shocking?
show. Yeah. So what
or motivating. Yeah.
Motivating. Let's use that.
Yeah.
That's a nice word. So let's talk about when you looked in the mirror and decided to start this. Where did you start and how did you get here?
Well, I started with that step that I write about in the Start Here diet, which is the dive in. It's basically an assessment of self. Okay, how did I get here? How did I get to be? At one point I weighed 204 pounds. That didn't happen by accident. The food was getting in there. I was doing it, and there were reasons why. But at the same time as I acknowledged that there's a lot of wreckage and I'm overweight and all that, and that I need to change something, I also realized there was something worthwhile, and that I needed to grasp onto that because that's what would carry me through successfully to losing the weight. So that piece is very important, the dive in. It's the beginning. And then the next part is identifying your hidden foods. Now, I don't think there's too many of these foods here that could be qualified as hidden foods, but when I ask clients to tell me, okay, what's the one food you can't live without? Often I'll come up with things like alcohol, chocolate, sweets, crispy, savory, salty things, that sort of thing. I recently helped a young man lose 100 pounds simply by identifying that his hidden food was 12 sodas a day. And we switched the soda to water. We put a water cooler in his kitchen and at his place of work, and he was able to lose the weight, go off of he wore sleep apnea gear to bed because he couldn't breathe properly. He went off of his high blood pressure medication, his cholesterol meds, even his type 2 diabetes meds, and ran a marathon.
Wow, that's
and that's
fantastic.
a hidden food that was sabotaging his whole life. And he just found what it was and walked away.
That's great.
It's remarkable.
And well, we're going to get to some healthy recipes in just a bit, so we're going to come back and we're going to talk the importance of breakfast in our next segment.
I love breakfast.
Me too.